If you hear poo poo, do not answer. If you hear it behind you, do not turn. And if it calls your name, run. Elders in my village say that some sounds are not meant to be answered. They say the forest has its own language, and when it speaks, it is never to greet you. But young people do not listen. We laugh at old warnings. We say fear belongs to the past, until the past stands behind you and breathes. This happened many years ago, in a small village not far from the edge of a thick forest. The kind of forest where sunlight struggles to touch the ground, where trees stand too close and silence feels heavier than noise. The road that passed by that forest was the fastest way home, but also the most feared. People avoided it at night. They said that after midnight, something walked there. Not a person, not an animal. Something that learned how to call. It started with a sound. Poo, poo. Soft, slow, almost playful. The first person to hear it was a palm wine tapper named Sadiq. He was returning late one evening, drunk and laughing to himself. As he walked past the forest path, he heard the sound behind him. Poo, poo. He stopped and turned, expecting to see a child or maybe someone playing a joke. But the road was empty. The forest stood still. He laughed, shook his head, and continued walking. That was his mistake. The sound came again, closer this time. Poo, poo. This time it sounded wetter, like lips pulling apart, like breath passing through something hollow. Sadiq felt a sudden cold crawl up his spine. He walked faster. Then the voice changed. Sadiq, his name. His laughter died instantly. He did not turn. Fear glued his eyes forward as his legs began to shake. Elders had warned them, never answer when the forest calls your name. But fear makes people foolish. Who is there? He shouted. The road behind him remained empty, but the forest began to move. Leaves rustled without wind. Branches bent slowly, as if something tall was stepping through them. Poo, poo. The sound was now right behind him. Sadiq ran. Villagers found his palm wine god the next morning, broken on the road. His footprints stopped suddenly, as if he had been lifted straight into the air. They never found his body. After that, the sound became more frequent. At night, children woke up screaming from dreams where something crouched at the foot of their bed, whispering, "Poo, poo," again and again. Dogs refused to go near the forest. Goats broke their ropes and ran for no reason. The elders called a meeting. They said the thing had returned. Long ago, before roads and electricity, there was a spirit that lived between villages and forests. It was once human, they said, a messenger who betrayed his people for power. When he died, the forest kept his voice but twisted it. Now it could only call, and whoever answered would never return. They said the sound Poo Poo was the last noise he made when his throat was crushed. They warned everyone, if you hear it, run without looking back. If it calls your name, do not answer. And if it walks beside you silently, pray. But fear fades with time. One night, a group of young men returning from a football viewing center decided to test the story. Laughing loudly, they walked toward the forest road, daring each other. "Spirit," one of them shouted, "come and carry me." The forest replied. Poo, poo. The laughter stopped instantly. The sound came from inside the trees, slow and deliberate. The air grew thick. One of the boys dropped his phone. Another began to cry quietly. Then the voice spoke again. Emeka. Emeka screamed and ran. The others followed, but the road suddenly felt longer than it had ever been. Behind them, footsteps followed. Not fast, not slow, confident. One boy tripped and fell. He felt a hand touch his ankle. It was cold, wet, too many fingers. He did not scream. When the others reached the village, they realized he was missing. At dawn, they found him standing at the forest edge, upright, smiling. His eyes were open but empty. His mouth moved slowly. Poo, poo. He collapsed and died before anyone could touch him. After that, no one doubted again. Years later, a young woman named Halima moved into the village. She did not believe in spirits. She worked late and often walked alone. Elders warned her. She smiled and thanked them, but she did not listen. One night, as she walked past the forest road, she heard footsteps behind her. Then she heard it. Poo, poo. Her heart began to race. Then the voice whispered her name. Halima. It sounded like her mother. She turned. Standing behind her was something tall and thin. Its body stretched wrong, its head tilted too far to one side. Its mouth was wide, too wide, pulling into a smile that split its face. No eyes, only darkness. Halima ran. She reached her house and locked herself inside, praying until morning. But from that night on, she was never alone. Every night at exactly 3 a.m., the sound came from outside her window. Poo, poo. 3 nights later, she disappeared. Her door was found open. Muddy footprints led from her room straight into the forest. Till today, when night falls and the world grows quiet, some people still hear it. Poo, poo. And elders still warn their children. If you hear it, do not answer. If it calls your name, do not turn. Because once it learns your voice, it never forgets, and it is always listening.